Joining us now, a disruptor in the flesh, Philanise White. You're saying to yourself, what? She's running for what? Congress where? Chicago? What are you, nuts? We're going to find out. Hey, Philanise, great to have you.
Hi, good morning, John. How are you?
Good. Now, how do you run as a Republican for Congress in Chicago? How's that work?
Trust me, it's not easy, but I'm making some headway.
Tell me about your campaign.
Well, the campaign is running strong. I have a wonderful campaign manager that's keeping me above the water, keeping me out of the way. I'm excited. I have a good volunteer team, so we're getting on the way. I have a lot of work to do, but I'm making progress, so I'm very proud of myself.
All right, Philanise, tell us what's going on in Chicago. I mean, all the shootings there, and you just had the local courts in I guess Illinois saying that the gun ban that you have is being upheld. They'll have to take that, I guess, to the Supreme Court. But what is going on with the crime in Chicago and all the shootings?
You know, it's Chicago. It's been this way for a while. They recently, yesterday, discussed that they are coming up with a plan to come up with the Chicago Stat Initiative tracking the gun crimes across the city. And it's basically tracking the people who own the guns and, you know, the gangs. So hopefully they can get that on the way, and hopefully this new implemented plan that they have, it'll help Chicago, because we do have a problem here with guns. And it was ongoing long before the president, came here. So
right.
Hopefully it'll get better.
All right. So when you say it gets better, I mean, is there average Chicagoans? I mean, how are they? Do they just like take this as part of living there, kind of like living in Israel? You're going to get a bomb. You're going to have a siren. It's just part of the, when you go to Israel and they have the sirens go off and there's, missiles coming in. People don't overreact. They just go in their bunker because, that's what they live with. Has that become kind of the attitude in Chicago now?
No, I don't want to say that's the attitude. I just think that the problem has never been resolved.
Wow.
So I think the people,
all right, tell me,
we try certain things. That plan doesn't work. Another plan comes. That plan doesn't work. So we have to find something that will help. And I think it takes, a lot of work with the community, the local officials, the police department, the mayor. It just takes leadership.
And so tell us about give us the boundaries of the 1st Congressional District of Illinois.
You say the boundaries?
Yeah. Like, where is it?
Okay, so it comes from Bronzeville all the way up near McKinney. So
wow.
The 1st district is very big. It curves in and out a lot. But that 1st district, it's so wide. I mean, I cover a lot, and I want to hit the ground running. It extends, it comes from like the lakefront by McCormick Place, all the way up near the cornfields of McKenna.
All right, so the incumbent there is Democrat Bobby Rush. Last time,
yes.
2018, he got 73.5% of the vote. So, I mean, you're a huge underdog. He beat, I guess, the Republican challenger, Jimmy Lee Tillman, got 20%. So he won this district by 53 points, right? So, I mean, you basically are not going to win. So why do you go out every day and work hard? I mean, you have virtually no chance of winning. So how do you stay inspired every day?
You say I have no chance of winning?
Well, you're down by 53, right? I mean, it's Democrat plus 53. You have to overcome a 53-point deficit. So how do you do that? How do you become competitive in this district?
Well, first of all, I'm passionate about what I'm doing. And people, they want to see something different. Mr. Rush has been a lifer. Nothing has changed. I was recently in Inglewood. I lived in Inglewood, raised 2 kids in Inglewood. Inglewood still looks the same. At some point, people should want something different. you shouldn't want to live the same way under the same person that's been in there since 1993. Now, you ask me what keeps me going every day. The constituents keeps me going every day. My passion to be the next congresswoman for the 1st Congressional District, that's what keeps me going. Knowing that I want to do something different, that's what keeps me going. Just you saying because he's a Democrat and I don't have a chance, that may be true. But I'm trying. And I'm offering people a new choice, a better way.
Now, look, I like the fact that you're running because it's easy to look at one of these districts and say, okay, Rush got elected last time with 73% of the vote. I'm not going to bother. So, look, it takes time and effort to do what you're doing, but you're giving, look, 60,000 people in your district voted for the Republican in 2018, right? So, I mean, you're giving those voters plus more a choice in Chicago, and I commend you for doing that. That's why we like to have you candidates on that are trying to disrupt the system. And, Illinois, I'm not sure that it's going to be competitive in 2020. It's likely to be carried by the Democratic nominee. But, every vote that they have to defend is a resource they can't put in Michigan or Pennsylvania or Maine or New Hampshire or Virginia, states that might be a little bit more competitive. Now, let me ask you the big question. Chicago, South Side, this is Obama territory you're in. That's what your district is. So I got to ask you the big question here, and then we'll get back to politics. Cubs or White Sox?
I'm a football fan. I'm not into baseball.
Bears?
I'm a diehard football fan. But if I had to make a choice, it would probably be the Cubs.
All right, Cubs, even though they're not in the South Side.
No.
So, football fan. Can I assume you're a Bears fan?
I am a Bears fan, but I have my other teams as well that I truly like too. So, but I am a Bears fan. I'm from Chicago.
Well, I figured you got to be a Bears fan, right? If you're from Chicago. All right.
Yeah.
Look, is Roush? Are you gonna challenge them to a debate? Are you gonna make them debate you? Or are they gonna just blow you off like so much fodder here?
I'm gonna take this campaign one step at a time. If they're asking for a debate, I'm up for it. If they don't, we'll see, where it goes. But I'm in this campaign for the long haul, and I'm going to give it all that I have.
What do people in Chicago think about President Trump?
What do people think about President Trump here in Chicago? Well,
that's my question.
Chicago, they were never for Trump. However, I love Trump. But, people have their own opinion about a lot of things. I think they just haven't, given him, I don't think they've given him a chance, but the black community is starting to come around. Look at our economy. It has risen, especially in the black community. So people are coming around.
Well, the last poll out, by the way, we're with Philanise White from Illinois, from Southside Chicago. She's running for Congress. She's a Republican trying to disrupt the whole city. And she's running against Barry. She's running against Bobby Rush, who gets like 73%. It's like Politburo numbers. And she's trying to throw everything in a tizzy. And that's Chicago's first district she's running as a Republican. So, I mean, it is interesting because you're basically in Obama's hometown there back in the day. And you're for Trump. But do people, like, sometimes me when I'm out, like, especially when I'm in Washington, where I live during the week, is I'll have my Trump hat on. And, of course, most people sneer. But some will come up to me, like, really sheepish, like, and quiet. And they'll be like, hey, I'm for Trump, too. Don't tell anybody. Is that kind of what happens in Chicago?
I think it mostly happens when I'm speaking to people one-on-one. And I give them some of the information I know. A lot of people are misinformed. When you're misinformed, you don't have the whole picture. But I do have people that come and say, why are you for Trump? And I tell them my reasons why. But people have to be informed. They need both sides of the story. You just can't crucify this man because what you see in the media, the fake news media. And once you start listening to that, everybody has their own opinion about things. So,
Right.
people, they're, like I said, they're finally coming around. So we just have to push his name out there. I need to get in Congress, and I think we'll be fine.
Well, the other thing, in a couple of recent political opinion surveys, polls that have come out, Philanise, Trump is at over 25 to 27% of the African American vote approval rating. I mean, if he gets 25% of the black vote, he wins in a landslide. Are those numbers real based on the people that you're speaking to?
I will say it is. I will say it is because, like I said, look at the economy. I mean, black people that
Right.
are getting jobs, people
Right.
realizing, he's not what everybody says he is. So it's coming around. It takes time, but it's coming around. And if you look at the social media, you'll hear a lot of black people on social media with their T-shirts on saying, "I support Trump."
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you what, you're out there fighting the good fight, and thank you for joining us today. And make this race competitive. You'll shake up the whole city of Chicago.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm trying.
I know you are. Now, you can say that your chances are kind of like the same as the White Sox winning the World Series right now. Not exactly odds-on favorite in Las Vegas. But I like the fact that you're out there mixing things up, holding these people accountable, and you never know, right? You gotta
right.
do what you're doing and make the effort, and hopefully things work out. We're going to be rooting for you, Philanise.
Thank
You've got a
you,
lot
John.
of courage for doing this. You got it.
Thank you
Go
so
to
much.
Philanise for Congress. You're welcome. Go to PhilanisForCongress.com, PhilanisForCongress.com, and maybe if things for Congress don't work out, you can start your own. You can start your own channel like Diamond and SoCav, right?
Oh,
And then you can
yeah.
be Philanise and somebody. And
Did you say Philanise and
Because, look,
somebody?
you got to get to somebody, right? You got to get to
Exactly.
somebody. But I think you could do it if you're not in
I think I can do it
Congress.
as well.
I know, because you're a believer, and besides, you're out there. I mean, the thing about being a candidate in a district like this in Chicago is, man, that takes some courage. I mean, just to get out there every day, and as a Republican, that takes some courage, and also to be for Trump. It's one thing to be, well, I'm running as a Republican, but I hate Trump. I'm just better than the other guy. I mean, you're doing it the way you believe, which is I'm running as a Republican because I believe in the president and his America First policy agenda, and I'm going to try to talk to you and share my view, and maybe you come around to my way of thinking when I show you the facts. That's tough to do, but I love the fact, for Philanise, that you're doing it, and thank you for that.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll be hanging in there with you, and soon, if you don't get elected to Congress, we're going to have the Philanise White Show live, Southside Chicago. You're on the John
thank you.
Fredericks.
That sounds has
I've
a very nice
just
ring to it.
launched your new network, John Fredericks Radio Network. Thanks for being with us.